Hey guys, in today's video I'll be showing off a new solar warlock build I've been having a lot of fun with, and it consists of a bunch of newly buffed items all coming together in a build I would like to call Burn the Universe. My buddies came up with the idea stemming from Thresher's just absolutely tearing us a new one this season. A key point of this build is Skyburner's Oath, paired with Heat Rises. Skyburner's Oath just got a very helpful and somewhat needed buff when it got the ability to give Scorch to targets with its hipfire. With Heat Rises active, anytime you get a kill in the air, you get a chunk of your melee back as well as extending your Heat Rises. These two together create a very unexpected ability spam chain that is absolutely insane for causing ignitions. The other aspect we added is Touch of Flame to buff our grenades and get those extra Scorch stacks. This paired with the new artifact bricks Flare Up and Rain of Firebolts made Firebolts a perfect grenade to use, as you can just spam grenades like no tomorrow. The melee of choice is of course Snap, as you can ignite all by itself if the projectiles all hit a target. The fragments being used all help to getting to our goal of lighting the Destiny universe on fire, with things like Ember of Ashes increasing our Scorch stack to get to ignitions faster. To help chain the ignitions more, we also added Ember of Char to apply Scorch to targets that survive the initial explosion from ignitions, only so we can pepper it more with the Skyburner's Oath and our abilities to get even more ignitions. So you see where we're going? We're just stacking ignitions on ignitions on ignitions. That's the whole goal here, is just to wipe the whole enemy field before they can even do anything. Our other two fragments have to do with consistency. So what we chose is Ember of Searing, which gives melee energy when defeating Scorch targets, but that's not it. It also provides Fire Sprites now with the newly buff in Lightfall, which gives grenade energy on pickup. The fragment is very helpful in the ability spam department because it is a 2-for-1 special, essentially, giving grenade energy and melee. We'll take it. Lastly, we have Ember of Blistering to give us grenade energy when we ignite. So the main point of this build is to make stuff blow up, so we can get grenade, melee, and then we can also scorch everything around it. It all works together really well. It's a very nice synergy. The mods we're using aren't really the most important things ever, but I would very much recommend that you just have stuff to get your grenade back, as I do. So all I've really done here is a very simple selection where we just get super energy off of our ability kills, and then we can generate as many orbs as physically possible. And then those orbs will also generate into iteration, so we get more grenade energy, but we also get a solar weapon damage buff, so a 10% damage buff to our Skyburner's. Since we're not using the Radiant perk, I feel like this is very necessary. With this, we have the time dilation, so we keep it for 15 seconds instead of 10. And then we also, if we use our class ability, which I haven't talked about yet, is Phoenix Dive. Phoenix Dive is strictly there just so you can quickly get like a restoration buff, you can get healed, it's just so you can quickly get back up into the fight so you don't have to stay out for long. It also scorches targets upon landing and is very fun within the new Daybreak. Back to the mods, you have stuff for Bomber, so when you do use that Phoenix Dive to heal, you will also be getting your Firebolts back, and then Impact Induction also gives it back when you use your Snap. Like I said, the mods can be adjusted. This is just what I preferred. It's a very simple set, so I'm sure like you could use something with finishers maybe down in the class item area, or you could use like armor bonus mods, like stat bonuses. I feel like my stats are pretty good. If you guys are lacking in the stat department, you should aim for 100% resilience for sure, because healing is a little lacking. The Phoenix Dive is your only source of restoration, and discipline just so you can spam more Firebolts. I don't think strength's that useful because Heat Rises and Dawn Caress give enough with the Scorch that it applies, so I don't think strength's the most important. I went for more recov for the Phoenix Dive, but like I said, it's very flexible. I just went simple. I'm just going to show a quick gameplay loop of the build and the Grasp dungeon at the beginning with all the thralls. It's just a really quick example, about 30 seconds long, but it's literally just chaining abilities. You pop Heat Rises, you throw your Snap, you throw your nade, and they'll just keep giving you abilities back. Your nade's more based off of getting orbs and fire sprites than anything else, but your melee does give you a good chunk back. So you'll see me occasionally run back into the cave just to get like my grenade back. But my melee is almost always there, and that's why you just keep seeing me snap it. It's a really simple gameplay loop. If you have no melee or grenade, you should be in the air just spraying your Skyburners. Be jumping as much as possible because Heat Rises does give you melee energy in the air. And yeah, it's really easy to use. Dawnblade's also just super strong against like beefier targets like champions, so don't be afraid to use it. this is just a really quick clip to show you how strong this build can be. This is a Legend Lost Sector. I'm 20 under, and just a few abilities and a few shots from my Skyburners. You just watch all these Void Shielded Acolytes drop. Takes about 30 seconds and they all just crumble. It's really cool how like crazy this build can be, especially when you're 20 under. Like those Void Shielded Acolytes should not have died that easily. The last thing to really cover is weapons, and for kinetic I use Heritage and Succession. And for heavy I use the Roar of the Boar with Demo Vorpal, the Iron Banner Rocket. And I felt like the build was really good, but honestly weapons don't really matter that much. As long as you have something that ignites, gives Scorch to anything, you could use a legendary weapon with Incandescence. Like, it would be fine in this build. The fragments are what make it. For champions though, this build does lack a little bit on that. For overloads, I was just running an SMG in my kinetic slot, just for specifically this Nightfall in the background, which is a -20 legend Nightfall, by the way, so I am severely underpowered, but this build was still running through it like a breeze, except for this part. I kind of died a few times in multiple runs, but we don't talk about that. Like I said, the mods, super flexible, use whatever you want if you feel like something would be better. I just chose something simple because it's what I prefer. I prefer ability spam. So if you prefer something else like stats, then feel free. It's your world, man. The fragments are really what make the build. And I'm sure Prometheus Lens is a fantastic weapon over Skyburners if you want to use it. Polaris Lance is probably also really good. So like, just be custom with it. The build's all about just spamming ignition, so as long as you're running something that gives Scorch, you'll do fine. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the build. I'm gonna let this Legend Nightfall play out, and if you guys enjoyed, please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100 subs by the end of the month, and leave a like. Thank you. Have a good day.